More Meta Madness, more best of fives. Yep, we are now fully embracing the best of five at Meta Madness. And our first map between Team Nagrom and Team Nick in the losers bracket of all things is Infernal Shrines. Now, especially Team Nick is a team that I did not expect to drop into the losers bracket early, but that indeed happens. And now they have to really fight through here if they want to make sure that they're continuing in the tournament and they're not dropping out completely. Infernal Shrines, the first map of the best of five. And again, if you're not really familiar with the rules here, Meta Madness is a bit of a special tournament concept that is fully designed to push teams out of their comfort zone, make them play a couple of heroes, you know, that they normally wouldn't consider in a competitive game. Or competitive match. And the way that we achieve this is twofold. So first of all, 20 heroes are banned for the entire tournament. And before anybody looks at that list, is like, oh my god, why is Hammer banned? Who did that? You guys did. Because that was an open poll. Everybody that wanted could cast a vote on what they wanted to get rid of, and you guys decided, so it's all on you. Blame the viewers. That's what we do here. But yeah, so those 20 heroes are completely out, and every single hero that gets played within the series cannot be played again. So after the first map, 10 heroes that you've seen on map number 1 cannot be picked again for the remaining up to 4 games within that series. And as you can imagine, when we're heading to like game 3, 4, 5, all of a sudden the hero pool is shrinking. And that means that towards the 5th map, 66 heroes are going to be removed from the pool. So there's that. Talking about removing heroes, we have Zarya removed here. I'll still maintain that for as long as Team Nick is playing in this tournament, Rutsu is not going to get his Zarya even once. I am amazed though that he got Medivh. Now Medivh is that... I mean, Medivh was just there on the edge of being banned completely from the tournament, but she is one of the few that made it in, and she is, of course, a very highly valued commodity at this point. Yeah, whenever they can pick her, they do. And we got some globals. Okay, not bad. Falstad and Brightwing, that's what they're starting the game up with. Nagrom's team, by the way, really impressed. Now, they dropped into the losers bracket, but let's not forget that they really put on a clinic in the winner bracket and even the group stage. So these guys are a lot stronger than you might initially expect. And they also got the Merc Master, Swamgrota, so you never know when the frog is making an appearance. Leo and Diablo are getting drafted now that we're looking at the front line for the red team. And, well, what are we going to get on the bans now? It's, by the way, a bit of a mage battle that's happening here. Mephisto and Chromie are both banned. Getting rid of the mages as quickly as you can. And let's go. Lulinara! Alright, they're eliminating Bambi. Keep in mind that Tychus is still up. I would expect Team Nagrom to pick Tychus. With all of the heroes that are already removed, Tychus becomes even higher priority, and on Infernal Shrines he can excel even further. Yeah, and that's that's exactly why they're currently banning him. It's like, nope. Tychus gets cancelled. We found an old tweet where he posted a picture of him with a cigar, and that's just not cool. So yeah, smoking is so 2021. So he got cancelled immediately. They banned him out. If not, I would have expected him to be picked here. And Stitches is in the house. We got Malthael too. That looks more and more like we're going to get some isolation plays with the Hook and a Gorge, and then the last rites follow up, maybe even the Emerald Wind. That one I'm not so sure on, but if the Gorge happens, then Falstad can go for the Gust, so there's that. Final 2 picks for the red team though. I mean, still map number 1, right? So things are a little bit more normal. Anna and... I mean, come on, baby. Give me that damage dealer. Tassadar! I like it. Tassadar's in. And we have a good front line for him, too. But that leaves us with the final pick for map number 1 in the best of 5 series. He had Meta Madness, powered by High Tech, of course. And what is the Panda Colada going for? They need a little bit more damage. I like Malthael here. They could even go into another melee if they really wanted to, but a bit of range damage wouldn't hurt them either. So, what are we getting for the final pick? Ah, Greymane, even more burst. Me likey, especially against Diablo, of course. So, well, guys, this is it. Map number 1, let's go. Team Nagrom against Team Nick. Let's figure out which team takes the lead in the best of 5 series. First game of the best of 5 is kicking off, and we are headed straight away to Infernal Shrines with Nagrom on Stitches. So if you guys are not really familiar with this, Nagrom is actually a main tank. I know most of you know him playing for Team in Miami. He subbed in as a support and he did a great job there, but he is traditionally a main tank. We got the Panna Colada on Greymane, Ewa on Brightwing, we got Junkrat on Malthael, and Bishops on Falstad, going full birdie. As on the right side of the map, Team Nick is starting things off with Nick on Tacita. We got Yasu on Anna for that nano boost, Maitri on Leo, Marlo on Dibbles, and Rutsu is playing Medivh. Okay. Let's get the show on the road here. I mean, honestly, even with 20 bans, this is still fairly... Honestly, this isn't a normal draft. It still looks fairly normal, but Tacita is a hero that would never be picked here. Someone like Malthael would not make an appearance on this map. Stitches is very rarely played here, but occasionally, of course, he gets picked. So it's still a fairly normal draft with a couple of exceptions as we're heading into the first game. But of course, things are going to change very quickly as we're progressing through the series. We now got up to the top side, our double trouble team here with some Grota and Bishops. Falstad, of course, can global it out a bit. Already some aggression here in the middle. Especially Medivh is going to be very difficult to deal with just in general. Whenever she makes it into one of the games, she is just an absolute powerhouse. And has been showcasing that now multiple times. And obviously she is a priority pick even when we don't have the special rules of Meta Madness in play. But it's even more pronounced when you have this many heroes banned. And Marlo with a really nice setup gets even the stun in, and there's the tether. Nagrom finds himself in trouble. Tacita going straight for the wall, and that did not kill Stitches, but of course can be a bit of an inconvenience as well. You can start to isolate people even further. So yeah, that's it. But then again, camps are taken. 2 camps for the red team. But they're starting to lose a bit of the structures down up at the top. That's really the double play that they have here with Falstad, always helping out Svamgrota, so it's a bit of a numbers advantage. It will always only be negated when Medivh is making her way in. Level 4 abilities are ready. And Tacita again with the fence over here. Okay. And here we go. I like that we're seeing a little bit more Tacita in this tournament. Tacita is one of those heroes that for the longest time was an absolute staple, and then he just disappeared. He just couldn't keep up with other damage dealers. And it's pretty sweet that we have him again. And obviously he offers a lot of utility too. I mean, we've even seen, for example... I mean, it doesn't always go into Archon, even on this map. Now with Anna as a pairing, I would expect Archon. But Hanzo just switched over to the other ult in a recent game and got big success with it too. And delivered, especially on the final fight. So that was pretty impressive. So Tacita is kind of sweet here. And on top of that, we also got the wall, which is absolutely fantastic. And he can just shut a team down very quickly, especially on that top shrine. When you are fighting on the shrine itself and teams are moving away and Tacita just like stops the retreat, that can be a big problem. And it's the old interplay again between Diablo and Tacita, where Tacita places the wall down and then Diablo has another opportunity to stun a target by using it to stun someone into it. So that is always kind of nice. I like that interplay in particular. Like Diablo and Tacita as a pairing, if you execute this well, it's kind of sweet. But either way, now towards the top, we have a bit of a lead for Team Nick, as you would expect. It's all about the level 7 talent for the teams now. Still fairly even, but still a slight advantage for Team Nagrom, and that allows them to now move in. Cocoon level 7 is already in play. Yeah, Rutsu is a little bit low. Anna with a pew pew pew. Tacita isn't here. The 2 globals aren't here yet either. Brightwing is now all of a sudden starting to move in. But Falstad is still finding himself at the bottom of the map. Can push another wave out and then maybe fly topside if he's needed. But Tacita is not joining the battle either. He's still going for the rotation. 17 to 24 stacks. This is still fought over. Both of them are still looking for an opportunity to get some hits in. Now, at the same time, here we have the next play maybe for Marlo. The hook, Falstad is there, and that's a kill. That has to be a kill. That could be even a double. Diablos is already dead. Here comes Medivh, and that's a lot of damage. Nagrom is low, but so is Maitri. Leoric needs to be super careful here. There's the wall, and it nearly kills Stitches. Oh, everybody is so insanely low. But they can fall back, and they're able to tap the fountain. Are they going to lose the objective, though? That's the question. There's the kill. Malthel and Brightwing and Greymane are all dead. They sacrificed themselves for the Punisher. Full Sudoku move by them, but they were able to at least get the objective. Can you imagine if they all went in, sacrificed themselves for a few more minion stacks, and then missed out on the Punisher? That would have been an absolute disaster. But as it stands, they were able to get the Punisher. But of course, they're not getting too much value out of it. The defense is set up well, and the Punisher can only take one of the towers down. Falstad was still, or is now at the bottom of the map and pushes this out. But yeah, death timers are pretty low at the beginning, so not really big deal here. But either way, we got the Panda Colado now. And yeah, Nagrom with his level 1, the Patchwork Creation. With only one single game where we've seen the Hungry for More, which I personally kind of like because it's fun. But obviously this is the stronger talent. Now the level 10 abilities are in. No nano boosted Tassadar. Instead we get the Eye of Horus. Everything else is more or less as expected. Brightwing with the Blink Heal, we get the Bullet, we get the Last Ride. So this is all about trying to isolate a target. Gorge and then Gust, and then just drop everything on the Gorged hero and try and drop him as quickly as possible. So that's going to be the gameplay and the plan from here on out. And that usually works quite nicely. So I'm pretty excited to see if they can combo this off properly. That's going to be the big question here. Can they make the play the way that they intended? For now, they're making the plays at the top lane again. So this little duo has been quite successful throughout the entire game, applying pressure to the top lane. And it always forces the rotation from Medivh mostly topside in an attempt to deal with it. Entomb in the Cage for the red team are of course also kind of nice because it helps Diablo to get value out of the barbecue with a Lightning Fury. Nagrom with a hook, and then it's like, yeah, I don't want to eat this. Yeah, he's a little bit too much. I mean, I'm happy for a snack, but that's just too much. They're gonna get Swamp. Well, are they? They should be able to get him. Wall stun is here, and he's still fine. That could be the first stack for Svamgrotta with the Last Rites if they can just drop them a little bit lower, but that's not the case. So yeah, he is still alive and kicking. Yeah, I mean, so far so good. We haven't seen a whole lot of kills. Most of them happened during the first objective. Both of the teams are still playing this, I don't want to say slow, but they're definitely cautious. They don't want to overextend themselves here in any of the team fights and just playing this very disciplined. Yeah, might try. He should fall here. Yeah, another hook, and that has to be a kill. There's the Last Rites. Goodbye. That's a stack for Malthale. Good for him. 5 seconds cooldown reduction. Hashtag worth it. Should have it back during the fight over the shrine, probably. Leo obviously is going to be back real quickly here. This is also the first objective where we are having Tassadar with his Archon, and they got level 13. It's a little bit faster for them, but it also will kick in for the other team. Right now, the Shadow Walk is in as well. And we got a bit more of a drain focus with the Unyielding Despair. And Falstad is dealing with the top lane, so the blue team is a bit late towards the objective, and I'm honestly not sure if they're really fighting for this one. But they're trying to take their own Shaman camp now, and I guess with Greymane rotating towards the top, that's gonna be a fort that they're taking here. So they're giving up the Punisher, and instead take the fort down directly. Alright. Okay, so that's a free fort for them. Leo, I mean, even if he lands the Entomb, it's not going to do anything for him, really. So, yeah, Maitri gets attacked a little bit. Bishops is also thinking, hey, nice, I can stack a little bit more on him. But down to the bottom of the map, they're trying to get the counter value now as they're also moving in. And of course, by now, the 3 heroes that are still trying to defend at least a bit need to be careful. That's exactly what they're currently doing here. Okay. Right now, yeah, they're abandoning this. They're just going for the birdie. They're not going to get a kill here. Alright, let's take a bit of a look at the damage. Again, we didn't have too many big fights. Tassadar once again with the wall. Nearly made Stitches pay for it here. Where are these gorges? I need that gorge. There we go. Gobble, gobble, gobble. I'm not sure if they can get the kill though. Last Rites is ready. Where's the bullet? There's the bullet. And that's a kill. Last Rites, another stack for Malthael. Pretty sweet for him. Diablo's obviously back, so all that they did was reset his soul stacks. But if they keep stacking Malthael, he's going to be a bank in the late game. It's exactly what they want here. I am surprised though that this Punisher got so much damage in on the bottom of the map. That's 50% off the keep already gone. That's quite nice. Another little play here. Tassadar with the damage. On the barbecue and the wall. Tassadar, you see that shit? He has the best walls. His walls are amazing. They're tremendous. It's so sad that they died, but his wall was amazing, and he made them pay for it. Oh boy, Tassadar with an amazing wall, and he stops them from retreating. And that's 2 kills. Stitches down, Greymane down. Now they can also make the play for the keep itself. Tassadar, absolutely fantastic. And oh, the bird is dead as well. Back into the KFC basket. That's a lot of chicken wings right there. Malthael is dead, and oh my god, Team Nick all of a sudden just unleashed it on them. They got 4 kills in total. And on top of that are now heavily ahead in experience. Took the keep down too. Jesus, they just crushed them. That was crazy. Yeah, that was a little bit nuts. If he gets the hook there in the gorge, he might be able to put them back, but no, not quite. So, yeah, I think that was a little bit unexpected for Team Nagrom. They didn't think that it would be hit this hard there. So instead, we have them defending here in the middle, or at least trying to. Marlo wants to go for another Diablo snack, but apparently that didn't work for him. Okay. And, well, it's level 16 versus 16. They can at least fight back here. That also gives us Pulverize, which is, of course, pretty sweet. Next objective spawns in the middle. Now, there's, of course, good news for Team Nagrom. Well, good news in the sense that the bot lane is not that big of a deal because they got Falstad. Yeah, if you have Falstad, if you have the birdie, then you at least know, okay, we can deal with this. It's not going to be too bad. As long as the bird is still alive and doesn't get ganked here. And the objective hasn't been announced yet. But they're still trying to get some damage in. Falstad is at 40 stacks. It's not really too crazy. Malthael is the top damage dealer on the blue team. With the last Rites hit he already got. 31,000 for Medivh, puts her in the driver's seat on the side of Team Nick. And the Shrine is activating. Yeah, it's going to be a pretty important battle for Team Nagrom. If they lose this one too and have to give up another Punisher, then it's going to be a very uphill battle. Seems like Nagrom is ready to YOLO out a hook here. And didn't hit anything. But those are the kind of blind hooks that you have to throw out every now and then if you actually land it. You're in a great spot. But there's the sleep dart. Okay, the tether. Swamkarota is still fine. And they gorge Dibbles. And the gust isolates him perfectly. That's a kill. 100%. There's the kill. The soul stacks are reset again. Ana also used Eye of Horus. But that's exactly how you want to play this. You have the gorge. Falstad hits the angle. Goes for the gust. And then you blow the target up. Now, Diablo will be back. And they need to wait for some of the cooldowns to come back. In particular, of course, Greymane and his bullet. 3 stacks for Malthael now, but he's in trouble and gets saved by Brightwing. The Fruit Fly, finally useful. Nagrom with a Devour, he's also still alive. And Diablo with a big barbecue play. Swamkarota, the helping hand. The cage didn't do anything for Medivh here. And while they're still chasing, those cooldowns are coming back. 12 seconds for Gorge, for the bullet, and of course Falstad and Malthael are going to have their ults back as well. I'm actually a little bit shocked. Wait a second. Shouldn't he have 5 stacks at this point? I'm a little bit confused. Sorry, 4 stacks. Shouldn't Malthael have 4 now? Did he miss that somehow? There's the Gorge again. Can they go for him? They try. Diablo. And there's the kill. 4 stacks are ready. There's the cooldown reduction again for Malthael. And all of a sudden, Team Nagrom is getting these kills. But they're about to lose the next Punisher. And that is bad news. But another kill would be great if they can go for Rutsu. That would be the dream. And the hook is hitting hard. The frozen Punisher for Team Nick. But still, they lost 2 of their heroes. And that makes it very difficult to capitalize on it. And while all of that happens, the extra stacks that we're now seeing coming together for Falstad and also for Malthael are, of course, making the late game a lot more problematic. Once that Malthael is done with this quest, for example, that's going to be a problem. Falstad goes for the Force Bear. Greymane got killed. Murdered instantly, but they're going for a counter kill. Yep, they want another one. They're getting him too. And I would still love to see another stack here for Svamgrotta. And he wants it as well, and he's gonna get it. So that is stack number 5 for him. And yeah, Tazada can of course still annoy him a little bit, but he can't really threaten him here. Oh, ho, 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 ho. The bird! And that's another kill. Nick overplayed his hand. Tazada dead, Stagger death, but they still gotta deal with the Punisher. And that's exactly what they're doing. No one can stop. Death has already been taken. Malthael, with the 5 stacks that he has on his heroic ability, has of course a real sexy cooldown reduction now. Yeah, this is a real good position for Team Nagrom now for the next few team fights, so you gotta give them that. Leo, nice, still providing a little bit of vision for them here. Okay, not too bad. But this makes the game very interesting. After that big team fight that we had at the bottom of the map, it looked like Team Nick might just be able to snowball this. But as it stands, the blue team is fighting back time and time again. And Bishops, of course, with the gust that he has been using so far, has also helped to set a few more kills up. Malthael is at 50,000 damage, so he's actually top damage in the game at this point. Not too shabby. Well, and we're still looking at additional hooks and potential plays here. Brightwing with the Invisible Friends upgrade on level 20. I mean, these are the only friends that Brightwing will ever have. Invisible and imaginary ones. Nobody else actually likes the fruit fly. Maybe Falstad, because it's a snack. That would be kind of nice. If someone like Falstad or maybe Deathwing, you know, could just come over to Brightwing and just like gobble it up and just eat it. Get some hit points back or something. I don't know. 17 minutes into the game and everybody is playing it out slow and waiting for the next objective to pop up. Of course, the camps here are going to become quite important when we have the next announcement. Seems like it's going to be a bot lane shrine this time. Yeah, we get the armored stance here and the force barrier. Increase the duration of the force wall by 0.5 seconds.
They need to make it higher. Make the wall higher. Not longer higher. We need a higher wall. It's gonna be a beautiful wall. He's gonna build it. And he's gonna make Stitches pay for it.
So yeah. Tazada is real happy. I mean, he's a master of his art. At least if Nick doesn't YOLO in because he thinks he can get another kill. But yeah, so we got the camps about to be taken. The first one at the top is already claimed, and I guess Falstad is going to transition over and is going to take this down as quickly as he can. At this point, I believe that they are going to try and take that bottom keep down if they get an opportunity. Alright. Yeah, the catapults are starting to become a bit more dangerous now too. We're 18.5 minutes into the game, so you gotta be careful about that too. Greymane. Yeah, Panacolada actually died in the last fight pretty quickly, so he needs to unleash the bullet and really go for it. But now we have at the bottom shrine the red team set up completely around the objective. So positionally speaking, they're looking pretty good here. The problem for them is that top lane, because now we got the shaman camp and the catapult, and as I just said, this late in the game these guys do some work, so that could potentially threaten their top keep a little bit. Yeah, here comes Diablo. They are going for the hook, and I don't think that's a kill. No. This time, Svamgrotta didn't get a kill. 40-second cooldown, so he's soon going to have his ult back up. Should have another one available during the fight, but that was a bit too premature. Him trying to get the kill there with the last rites was too early, and Anna helped out. Didn't have to use her ult either. Nice, buried alive, but it didn't do too much. They're going for Malthael and Bishops with the Gust, ensuring that they push everybody back, especially Tacita and Archon form. But the fight is not over by any means. Another couple of seconds until Malthael is his ult back, but Greymane is dead and Bishops dies too. Malthael also gets dropped. He obviously is back because nobody can stop a death. With the exception of Diablo, apparently, because he stopped him quite handily during that fight. 11 kills to 9, and while the red team locks in another objective, another Punisher, and wants to go for game now, that top keep is also going to fall. So Team Nick needs to end this. And they have a 5 versus 3. Last rights is up, so if they somehow can allow Malthael to get a kill, that would be real helpful, but Svamgrota is super low, gets barely saved, is able to make it out, and they're wasting a little bit of time here. That's actually not too bad. They're wasting a lot of time of the opponent's team, and Svamgrota is looking for a last right target. And he has a couple, but he gets polymorphed and dies. And now Stitches is dead too. Bright being the only survivor is trying to get away. Greymane is not back up on the map just yet. A few more seconds left. Falstad can use the Gust, but I don't think that he can provide enough time for them. This is going to be a victory in game number 1 for Team Nick. GG, the red team with a lead in the best of 5 series.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Here we are again, map number 2. Team Nick is in the lead, and yeah, I went through that spiel already once, and then apparently Nick dropped from the map. So I'm not 100% certain what exactly happened there, but that's going to be the reason why these bans are going to come in very quickly. And I don't know what the reason is. So apparently they messed up the first pick in the first ban. Last time it was actually Team Nick that has first pick, first ban, and it was supposed to be Team Nagrom. Now the one thing that I want to point out here real quickly is that these two shitbirds went through half the draft until they realized that the wrong team had first pick. How do you not instantly realize that when the draft starts? So that's the reason why he dropped out. I suppose that the bans are still going to be the same. They're continuing with the same pattern here. Yeah, we're going to get Mephisto banned out, I suppose. And there it is. But it's kind of wild that they're going through half the draft and then one of the guys is like, wait a second, guys, do we, like, shouldn't we have first pick? So, fully spaced out, those two. Fully spaced out. But yeah, anyways, so now that we're having first pick, let's see what we're getting for Team Nagrom. They lost on the last map, so here they come with Lulnara for Bishops. Obviously the 10 heroes that have been played on the previous map are not available anymore. Nick on Kerrigan. Me likey. Alright. And we get Deckard Kane. Yeah, Nick on Kerrigan is actually kind of cool because we haven't seen that in a long time. And this is also the map where he initially brought Kerrigan back into all of this. So that's gonna be good. I like it already. You got Deckard Kane for a bit more control. You got Kerrigan for the combos. So show them how it's done, Nick. I want to see those big Kerrigan plays. And what is happening as a counter? Garrosh for Nagrom. And here's Tychus. He was banned on the last map. Bit too strong for Infernal Shrines. So this time they pick him early. So he can't be denied. Supports are, interestingly enough, still up. In most of the games that we've seen before, the teams targeted supports during the bans a lot more. Now that Brightwing has been played and Anna has been played, that puts the pool a little bit lower. Deckard Kane is also taken. The one thing that I'm honestly missing out on a little bit is teams playing intentionally double support compositions to thin out the support pool a little bit against the other team. Especially on a 4th or 5th map. We haven't seen that yet. And I could totally see that happening at some point. This is a bit too early, obviously, so right now it wouldn't make any sense. But for later on in those matches, that could be a strategy. Rutsu playing Rexa here. And apparently they're still debating a little bit what else they want, but it's going to be Gul'dan. Yeah, that is a lot of wave clear. So we got Gul'dan in. And now for Svamgrota and Eowa. We still need him with the side lane. Now, Urel was banned against them, so... You still need to get something else in here to deal with the solo lane at the bottom of the map. And of course, they need a support. Deathwing! That's the second time that we get Deathwing in the tournament. And Morales! Okay. Yeah, Morales is in. I like it. I've actually seen her a couple of times now. That's pretty cool. So Morales popping in and out. But what's Marlo going to pick? I mean, he's the last one to choose here. This is game number 2 out of the best of 5 series. And let's not forget, we are in losers bracket, everybody. So this means whichever team loses is out of the tournament. The winner has another chance to make it towards the grand final. And Marlo for Team Nick with the final pick here. And it is Zagara. So they go for both of the Zerg Queens. Tomb of the Spider Queen. Let's make it happen. Team Nagrom against Team Nick. Okay, here we go. Team Nagrom against Team Nick. And we had a bit of a change in personnel. So they started this game already once and they had to pause after 10 seconds. And it turns out that Rutsu apparently is sick and he was able to play game number 1, but he just had to call it a day. So now we have a sub player for Team Nick and it is Bad Benny. But let's go through the players first. We got Bishops for Lunara on the blue team. We got Iowa on Morales, Nagrom on Garrosh. The Panda Coladas playing Tychus and Swamgrota on Deathwing. Now, Nick is playing his Kerrigan. We have Marlo on Zagara. Yazu on Deckard Kane. Bad Benny is playing the main tank Rexa. And Maitri is playing Gul'dan. So, with Rutsu being replaced by Bad Benny, that also had a bit of an impact on how they are playing this. So the last time that they started this game, again, they stopped it after 10-15 seconds because Rutsu said, boys, I can't. I tried, but you have to replace me. Like, Rexa was played by Marlo, and now Marlo switched over to Zagara, so they have to make some role adjustments as all of this happens. And Rexa is being played here as the main tank for them. So that's a main tank situation for Rexa and Misha. Now down to the bottom of the map, we got Swamgrota against Marlo. I, by the way, am absolutely in favor still of Deathwing being able to just gobble up Misha. Honestly, I find it always so irritating when I see Misha going up against Deathwing, as much as I like her, but at the same time, when Deathwing sees that, the only thing, do you think that he's actually afraid? He thinks that it's like, ooh, breakfast. That's what Deathwing really thinks. So that there is no interaction between certain heroes and Heroes of the Storm is, in my eyes, an absolute slip by Blizzard. Deathwing could just go over there, go like, and just like gobble Misha up and get some hit points back because, well, that's sustenance right there. And the same should also happen whenever he encounters the birdie or the fruit fly, anything like that. So we could see way more things like that. But either way, now that we're heading into game number 2, the lead, of course, still goes to Team Nick. And they are already working in the mid lane to take some of the structures down, potentially. And claim the second map win. That's the goal here. Get the early 2-0 lead in the best of 5. Deathwing is jumping in now as well. And Nick with his Kerrigan is still fine. A little bit annoying for him that he can't just simply go for some Grota here. NA did an interesting thing for quite some time, by the way. They used Junkrat with a rocket ride against Deathwing, and they thought of it as a counter, because if you go rocket ride with Junkrat, thanks to the hitbox of Deathwing, you can pretty much hit him every single time you use that ult. So they tried to counterplay that. Was abandoned at some point, but for quite some time, that was a very continuous pick pattern that we saw in by the North American teams. And I like it. I like a good rocket ride as much as the next guy. So yeah, there was some fun stuff with that. We even had a time, I think, in the European scene where it was Imperius and Junkrat's rocket ride, where they went into Wrath and then just delivered the target into the rocket ride, which was also kind of fun, but a bit harder to pull off. Very interesting to see Serrated Spines taken on level 4 now. Didn't expect that to happen. So Zagara is going for the stacking. We got our first blood in the game too as Kerrigan died. So Nick, of course, a bit infamous for using his Zagara to crush people on this map. But now his Kerrigan has died right at the beginning of the game. Bit of a flip for Misha. Barreling forward here. An attempt to get another stun. Main tank Rehgar is also not something that you see all that often. So Meta Madness is already screwing a bit with some of the roles, and apparently the main tanks are affected for sure. But as it stands, Zagara at the bottom of the map still playing this out with Swamgrota and Marlow. Yeah, there's the creep tumors being taken down, but Marlow trying of course to provide not only a little bit of vision, makes him much harder to gank up upon, but also still delivering some solid damage against Deathwing and sitting at 15 stacks now on the serrated spines. Now needs a little bit more than that, but it's interesting to see the auto attack damage for Zagara just being increased over time. And against Deathwing you're always going to be able to get a couple of hits in at least. But this is more of an ARAM talent than anything else. So in brawls you see that a lot. But in actual games, I mean, first of all, you don't see Zagara in actual games. Every now and then she gets picked, but with very limited success. Dino and Team did it a few times now too. Yeah, still a bit on the fence. Nobody else has picked it up either yet, but normally it's the Envenomed Spines on level 4 that get chosen. So now seeing the stacks coming in is definitely a bit out of the ordinary. But, I mean, for now, he's sitting at 25, so that's not too bad. Get some additional hits in. Both of the teams are also working on the first turn in. And Lulnara gets attacked, and Misha gets killed. Okay, Misha down. Okay, we're coming up to the top. Nick, careful. Yeah, there's... Hits the stun. Nice flip on Bad Benny. That's the problem for Rehgar. A good follow-up by Morales. They nearly got the kill there too. But that was a nice follow-up by Yowa. That put him out of position for sure, but he was still able to escape through the gate. But the party down at the bottom of the map continues. 26 stacks by now. Damage output, Gul'dan with a 17,000, so he's stacking his level 1, looking for the Echoed Corruption here. Another flip, lift with the knees. I like these follow-ups from Morales, I really do. And this time they might even get the kill. No, not quite. But they're so close every time, but now they lost Tychus at the top, so that's unfortunate. Rehgar is the one to deliver the final blow against him. We're nearly on level 10 and we haven't seen a turn in yet. Normally you get that around level 7 already. So, there's that. And in the meantime, we got already 43 stacks delivered, or 43 gems delivered by Team Nick, so they're slightly pulling ahead here. And there's also Siege Giants at the bottom of them that they could go for. So 39 stacks for Zagara. Gonna keep a little bit of an eye on her, but it's not really the most impactful talent usually. Would have been a little bit more fun if they had Morales and they would go for like Stim Drone Zagara with auto attack style. Not necessarily the best setup, but still, I would be here for it. Yeah, you get Stim Drone on the blue team, and we also have Tychus with his Odin. Web Beavers are descending, and it is indeed Team Nick that has the first wave. So both teams with heroic abilities. Only 2 kills in the game. Yeah, and here comes the party. Instantly, we got Maitrai with the Horrify, and they get the kill on Tychus again. And Nagrom is also in trouble and gets nearly murdered. Might still die, but good job by Yowa keeping him alive through all of this until now at least. But Kerrigan's combo is a bit too much for Garrosh to handle. The fort falls, and Mokus Forales as they are dropping the support on the blue team. 1 fort eliminated. They're not stopping there. They're already moving with Camp and Webweaver towards the middle, taking this down a notch as well. Swamgrota with 36 of his gems, and he's gonna die. Oh boy, that hurts. That really hurts. Not only do they lose another fort, the second one, but they also lose the 36 gems that he was holding, and that is a disaster. So, very unfortunate for the blue team. That's definitely a huge setback that just happened here. And with 5 kills to 1, we now have to push through the top lane, continuing. They're also taking the Siege Giants again at the bottom of the map. Nick is just like jumping around every bear like a bunny on crack. To be absolutely fair, by the way, to the blue team, they still have enough gems for another turn, and so it's not like they're completely helpless here. But losing 36 is, of course, a problem. I mean, there's no denying that. Especially if you're considering that Team Nick is now also trying to go for another turn in. Yeah, and Dominal already being used. Nick has not used his combo yet. Does it now. Played beautifully around the Indomitable. There comes, oh, not only the ult from Deckard, but also the Maw. And it could be another kill, but there's the save. Good fear, though. Stim drone on Tychus. Can he get the kill? I don't think so. They get Misha, but that's it. And Kerrigan has easily escaped down towards the bottom of the map. And Nick is getting dangerously close to get enough gems together for the team so that they can get another turn in 2. So far we've mostly been talking about the blue team finally getting another web weave away for, well, the first one. But right now it's a little bit better even for the red team. And they're getting the protective coating here for Zagara, who has 60 stacks by now on her level 4. So the auto attack damage is slowly and steadily getting a bit better for a girl on the sideline. Level 13 ready for the blue team. They're only one level behind. Oh, Nagrom gets attacked again. Should have his Indomitable ready. In comes Kerrigan. Good damage from her. Has to go for the Chrysalis. And there's the kill attempt on Garrosh. And they drop him. Garrosh is down. And they are trying to follow it up in the middle again. Full control over the map. And nearly a completed quest for Gul'dan already. He's sitting at 39 stacks here. But they are controlling the entire game at this point. Yeah, that's a bit crazy. So here come the Web Weavers once again, and they're going for the boss at the same time. Deathwing is screwing with this a bit, but keep also that ult on Zagara in mind. They could use that if they really want to bait them into a fight here, but without level 16 talent advantage, move away from the boss. They're not really risking anything. Zagara sitting at 18,000 damage against the 30k that we get from Gul'dan, who completes his quest. There's the combo, and the kill. Maybe, maybe not. Oh, the Horrify as well. And Tychus gets mauled. Bad Benny is in trouble though, and Rexa, they save him. Oh, yeah, this is getting a bit crazy. Deathwing, he was so close to getting a kill, but now he's the one that dies. Deathwing turns into Deadwing again. Now the fort at the top falls. Zagara is pushing at the bottom of the map, trying to help to destroy the wall here. The only one that hasn't been snacked up yet by the red team is Bishops on his Lunara. He's the only real survivor. The fight continues in the middle, by the way, and Panna Colada was nearly in trouble here. But by now we got the Corrosive Saliva, for example, and we got the Ruinous Affliction. So the synergy with the level 1 talent is now complete, since the Echoed Corruption quest has been completed as well. But the pressure is there, and with a 2-level lead, that makes a whole lot of sense. So the fort goes down, the keep drops too, and with that they have full control over the mid lane, and they're already working on accomplishing the same thing at the top. Svampgrota fairly low here. They're trying to do what they can, but it's level 16 that are fighting against, so it's tricky. Did he just taunt him into that? Hello? Nagrom? Yeah. Flipped him in, but they can't... Ah, they can get a kill. Okay, not against Deckard, but they get Gul'dan. Maybe they're coming back after all. Good Maw, though. Marlow had some sexy Maws in this game. Gotta give him that. Now, they don't have a whole lot of gems. They currently have only 18. But the blue team, despite the fact that they lost 8 heroes in total, they are still closing in on their first turn-in. Yeah, it's actually kind of sad. It's going to be their first turn-in, whereas for Team Nick it would be the third if they're able to deliver. Morales now with a shield sequencer. And Garrosh goes for the mortal combo. Yeah, but they gotta now get some momentum. And Bishop's turning in gives them the first objective. And with that... I mean, it's actually kind of crazy. This thing could have been taken down so easily, I suppose. Gul'dan alone would be able to drop that. But yeah, either way, now with the Web Weavers, they gotta do some work here, right? So they need to come in and take some of those structures down, drop a fort or two. So let's see if they can pull that off. Yeah, Web Weavers need to do their job. Oh, this is gonna get very, very difficult for Team Nagrom to get back into. Especially if you lose map number 2, then it's 3 match points for Team Nick. So that would be a bit crazy. But there's the combo again, and the Horrify! They aimed for Tigers, but they get Garrosh. Panda Colada is also still on the run. Good ult again from Dehaka, and even the follow-up. But Nick is dropping, well, is trying to drop Tychus and couldn't. Morales died, but so did Gul'dan. Tychus is still on the run. No idea how he survived that, by the way. It seemed for a second like Nick hit the wrong hotkey by accident and used the Chrysalis instead of going for a jump. Either way, they lock in 3 kills in total. That's all they need. They can go for the boss at the top. 103 stacks for Zagara by now on her level 4. So the serrated spines are starting to do more and more damage. It's still not a great talent, honestly. I mean, yes, you do a little bit more auto attack damage, but let's face it, Zagara is not really an auto attacker. So unless you're getting absolute incredible stacks here, it's not like with 100 and something you are going to be queen of the game. That's Kerrigan. But 35,000 damage isn't too bad. But you get a lot of that also with your ability damage. Either way, they are now taking the boss, or at least they should. I guess they're waiting for Gul'dan to come back, because there's no turn to wait for. Zagara is already pushing the bot lane out a little bit further, but eventually they have to move towards the top and deal with the boss here, and Kerrigan takes it. Now that Gul'dan is ready, nothing else to do. So, they're coming in, taking the camp down, top side. I mean, the keep is gone, right? Keep at the top is definitely gone. The one in the middle has already been destroyed. This one can't be saved. So now they need to make a play for the core. That's what this is all about. Team Nagrom is going to try and defend. If they lose one of their heroes, that would be the end. And thanks to the timing that the red team is using, they also have level 20 advantage. And that gives us the upgrades on the ults mostly. And Lunara is already dead. And she is not the only one, is she now? Nagrom is so low, he should also drop. Morales barely runs away. Garrosh is dead. And this is just the end of... Yeah, this is definitely the end. Game number 2. Team Nick takes it. After they lock in an early victory on Infernal Shrines, they are now working at taking the second game. Panda Colada is low, gets also dropped. It's a full 5-man team wipe as Team Nick locks in the 2-0 lead in the best of 5 series here at the Medivh Madness loser bracket. Team Nick has a 2-0 lead. We got Garden of Terror as our third map, and that's also the first match point here in the losers bracket for the red team. Yeah, Garden of Terror. 20 heroes are globally banned, and 20 heroes are banned because they were played in the first 2 games, the first 2 maps of this series. And with Garden of Terror, we have a very, very, very big map, and we have seen Murky on this one. We could see an Abathur as well. So there's honestly a lot of cool picks that we could now get on map 3. Up to this point at least, Team Nick has been playing extremely well. And Team Nagrom, it felt like map number 1 was probably their best so far, but they really seemed to struggle in the late game, and then game number 2 they never really got a foothold there. So now that we're heading into the third map, this was their map choice. So the blue team picked the map, and apparently the ban pattern gets changed now by Team Nick, because they are thinking, hey, Vikings, let's ban them out. Let's just make sure that we're going to get rid of them quickly. And Uther gets banned now too, which means that Chromie is still up and Mephisto is still up. So the 2 that have been banned out in the previous games are technically available now, and we might see them. But, well, let's see. Because at this point, they're shifting their entire approach. Oh, come on! No! No. We can't endorse this kind of behavior here. They ban Vikings and they ban Abathur. Like, what the hell are you trying to do? Win the game or something? Like, yeah. No fun. No fun. Double support ban, by the way. Okay. They're going for a double support ban and are limiting pool significantly. I'm a little bit intrigued. What are they planning? This is not Karazim as a first pick. There's still enough supports available, so I'm looking at this and I'm a little bit like, wait, what? Why? What are they trying to do here? Why would you ban Uther and Lili? I can understand one, but both of them? What are they trying to go for? Kharazim as the first pick? Okay, that's Chromie and Zul. Am I the only one that is disappointed when he sees Zul? It's such a waste of Svampgrotta's creative talents. The man that brings us Murky every now and then. And now he plays them Necromancer. That's unbelievable. We need more frog representation in this game. I mean, he literally went for the white male. It's unbelievable. It's like, Svampgrotta, I'm so disappointed. You could have gone for the frog. But no. I mean, it doesn't get any whiter than Zul. Tyrael and Cassia. Yeah, so you got your Sanctification. I still assume that we're gonna get Sanct over a Judgment, even though we had a few games already with Judgment. And in those games, it was paired with Kharazim, so that you could get a stun, plus then Kharazim dashing in and landing the 7-sided strike. Sonya for potential leaps, also taken away. But I still want to see a little bit of the craziness. Hey, come on, boys. We're in God of Terror, after all. I'm looking at these bans, and I'm like, why? Why are you banning Lili right now in Game 3? If you pick Garden of Terror, you better got something prepared. But of course, Vikings banned, Abathar banned. I don't think anybody goes Garrosh here. Cho'Gall. They're hesitating so long every single double pick that I'm just sitting there. I'm like, what's it gonna be? And then they pick something totally standard. Come on, boys, bring it. I mean, they probably wanted to go for like some Moro Abathar or something. Varian together with Chromie and Tyrande. So we got Varian with the taunt, Tyrande coming in with a follow-up stun and the Hunter's Mark, and then Chromie with all of the damage. Fair. Sniper combo. I can appreciate that. That's where the Uther ban makes a whole lot of sense, because his Divine Shield can ruin that quickly. Even his Hand of Protection is solid. Jaina and Imperius. Alright, alright. Yeah, Jaina, Imperius. So we got Blondie in the house again. For a little bit more water elemental pressure, potentially. Yeah, but the final pick, Bishops. Are we gonna get a bit of a curveball or not? What are they gonna do? I don't think I don't see them trying to blindside the red team anymore. They're gonna go for some pretty normal hero to round this out. And yes, there's Thrall. So now we got Thrall, Varian, and Zul at the front. Garden of Terror. Let's see what they can do here. This is obviously the first match point for Team Nick. Can they win this with a 3-0 and advance to the next round of the losers bracket? Or is Team Nagrom fighting back now? Let's find out. Match point, baby! Team Nick coming straight in with a 2-0. Very dominant performance so far. Team Nagrom trying to fight back, trying to lock in a point and putting on the scoreboard, but so far it hasn't really happened. Now we have the blue team on the left side with Nagrom on Varian. We got Panda Colada on Chromie. Bishops going into the Trolling Thunder on Thrall. Svampgrotta with Zul. And Iowa is playing Tyrande. On the right side of the map in the meantime, Bad Benny, he's playing Tyrael, subbing in for Rutsu. Rutsu, sick, could only play the first map and then had to bow out. Now we got Nick on Jaina, Yasuo on Kharazim, Marlo on Imperius, and Maitri on Cassia. Okay, let's see what we're getting. Is this the opportunity for Team Nagrom to bring it back? Are they finally putting a point onto the board? We currently have charge strikes on level 1 and big brawl in the middle. They're going full ARAM here. Run it down mid, baby. No kills though. Everybody low, everybody just brawling it out, but not a single kill yet. And, well, down to the bottom of the map now, the rotations of Svampgrotta. Now, when we're talking about Garden of Terror, it's obviously a map where we have a lot of wave clears needed, not only for the minion waves, but you want to deal with the mercenary camps as quickly as possible. On this map, you have the most camps up out of any map, and therefore you can create a lot of pressure on those lanes. When Blizzard redesigned this one, they went very creative. They came up with a completely new concept, because what you have to do now... I mean, honestly, Garden of Terror at the beginning was really quite the same, but then Blizzard looked at the map and were like, hey, we need to make this unique. We need to make this really, give it its own flavor, do something here that we haven't done on any other map yet. So what you have to do on Garden of Terror now is you have to channel tributes, seeds, and then once that you have 3, you're getting your web weavers, Garden Terrors onto the map. It's a completely different concept than they use on any other map. So yeah, Tomb of the Garden Curse is such a creative idea. Everybody in the community was blown away when they first introduced it and restarted it. But yeah, so while we're waiting for the first tribute seed to spawn, we have now Varian finally with his taunt. That makes him a real hero. I'm a real boy now! And the Arcane Intellect over here. The Battle Hunger. And everybody is just trying to get some structural damage over. So already they're partying it up at the wall and take this one down to the bottom of the map. It's a similar picture with the blue team attempting to pay them back in kind. Hasn't really happened just yet, but they're getting at least one of the towers, and they get the gate too. But the red team was a little bit more successful up at the top. Marlow missing the stun though. It's actually also interesting that Marlow is now side laning. I mean, it makes sense. Bad Benny moving in for Rutsu forced them to switch roles a little bit, but that changes the entire setup that they're currently playing out here. The killer compositions are of course now online, so right now you want to play with Chromie. Chromie, by the way, isn't here, so if they get the taunt with Varian and then Tyrande follow-up, they have at least Thrall around with them. But you normally want to play that out with the Chromester. And it is a deadly combo. I mean, Muradin Tyrande in the early days was one of the strongest comps that you could have in order to get early game kills. Nagrom doesn't get anywhere near them, though. He needs their taunt, and then Tyrande can apply the Hunter's Mark and an additional stun. And Chromie can just fire away. That's all you gotta do there. Okay, so with that, we now got Zul taken down at the top. Poor guy. So Zul is dead, and that is now the second kill for Team Nick. They're off to a good start again. Varian is there, all alone though. He can't do anything. Varian by himself is just an oversized minion. He can insult you to your face a couple of times and try to taunt you, but outside of that, there's very little that he can pull off in order to stop you. So they're just ignoring him. Varian is sitting there shouting, yelling, trying to do what he can, and they're just fully ignoring him. There's like, yeah, sorry dude, but we just really don't care. So they go for the fort and take it down. Finally some reinforcements on the way, but now it's a 4 versus 3, and I guess we're gonna get another kill. Tyrande is dead. And, well, the counter kill. There's an attempt to go for Maitre, but even that didn't work. Taunt. Can they go for Nick? Nope. Instead, Varian is dead as well. So, yeah. Jaina with the kill. Oh boy, they are slapping them hard. 4 kills to 0. Ah, but Cassia got owled. Nice. Is there anything better than seeing someone getting owled? It's so good. Back in the day, when you could do real damage with Tyrande's owl, that was awesome. There's still a clip somewhere on my Twitch channel where we have like a cross-map owl that I think kills 3 or 4 heroes. Yeah, those were the days when owls did murderous damage. These days, it's a bit rare, but it occasionally happens. We just saw it once, but it is pretty fantastic. Yeah, the old school owls that could absolutely drop anybody. Now we got the Swift Retribution and we got the Ice Flurs as well. They're going for the battle again, and Tyrande's frontlining it. At least for a moment. Seems like Benny goes down. No sanctification for him yet, so he can go for the explosion, but that's about it. They're still trying to get the kill on Varian, but maybe even another taunt opportunity in a second. He's gonna get his cooldown back. But the move for Tyrande, and she's dead again. Yeah, our Karen wants to speak to the manager. But now we got Zul also taken care of, and they want to make another play for Varian. Yeah, that's not going to happen. He's going to die eventually. He can prolong it, but he's going to die at some point. Varian is dead. Bishops at least made it, but that's in total 8 kills to 2, and they have now a 2-level advantage over them, which is just nasty. Absolutely nasty. 7-sided strike, the Wrath of Angerius. Yeah, and that... I mean, good luck to Team Nagrom. Right now, they really need it. They impressed, they really did. On the first day and also some of their group stage games, it looked always so close and always felt like they could be the one to even progress through the winner's bracket. But right now they're getting totally destroyed by Team Nick. Finally we're getting a combo against Teriel and he's down. So that's another kill for the blue team. If they can stabilize here, they might have a chance. At least they got 1 seed, so it's not like they had to give everything up on the map. They had 1 out of the 2 seeds, but there's another taunt, there's the stun, but not enough damage. And now Varian finds himself on the receiving end. So he gets attacked. Karazim jumped into. Yeah, they're still going for Nagrom, but Varian is protected. And we already got the... oh, careful, might try. They're all low. There's the opportunity for the kills. It's not only Cassia that's low, everybody else also is rather in trouble. 7-sided strike. They're isolating them again. He's dashing in and they get the kill. But Tyrande is able to drop Karazim too. Chromie gets murdered, so does Zul. Topside attacked. The camp, the catapult is right here. Another seed is still up for grabs and Cassia is pushing out the bottom of the map with the siege giants. Yeah, there's way too much happening right now. 11 kills to 4. They are having a 2-level lead that they can now exploit and even pressure on the lanes that helps them to take some of these structures already down another notch. Thrall comes in from the side, but he doesn't have Sundering yet, so he can only rely on the Wolf, and they go for Maitri. He chops quite low, but they can't kill him. So Maitri is still alive. 24,000 damage for Cassia. And yeah, it's a bit crazy. Nice. He was at least on point with his owls. So that works pretty well. Next seed is spawning at the top, and this is the problem, because now we could see the Garden Terror spawn. If they grab this one too, that would be pretty much it for the remaining 2 forts. Once the objective gets unleashed, they're going to get them for sure. But there's the taunt. 7-sided strike though. And Yazu gets away. Now that bought him some precious seconds and helped their team to rotate in. Sundering. But Tyrande is dead. Varian is dead. And yeah, that's pretty much everybody dying here. Thrall follows. And now Chromie is slowly trying to get away here. And she gets a kill. Well, maybe not so much Chromie. The fort gets one. Chromie was helping. Gets the assist at least. But it's still way too much. Forts are falling. And Chromie is now fully isolated too. Sanctification. Chromie nearly gets out. But Benny realized that the timing that didn't work out 100% for him. So it was already on the move. But the next talents are available now for the blue team, but it's too little too late. We get Imperius jumping away as he went for the seed. Svamgrotta is probably still going to get him. The problem really is that they are wasting a lot of time here too, as they're attempting to lock that kill in. But even that doesn't work, so now the fort in the middle gets destroyed. Siege Giants and the Garden Terror, and down to the bottom of the map, another fort is of course also going to be taken down. So this game is not looking good for Team Nagrom either. They're getting destroyed on every single level. 16 kills to 5, level 16 in just a few seconds to level 13. Structures are all gone. Nick and his boys, they are carrying so much momentum into this game and probably the next one. It's nasty. I mean, they might be able to take a keep down now. Yeah, but Jaina dies, so that's a good one. So they're able to take Jaina down. Finally, Tyrande surviving for once. Alright, good for her. So I think they're not going to be able to take the keeps, but at least they exposed the keeps themselves and took the walls down, so that's a win. And off we go. Top side, Bad Penny. Penny with Tyrael. Now he's a little bit low. He probably needs someone else to help him out here. Svamgrotta is going to get that kill eventually. But they have level 16 talents, and that gives us also the cleansing touch.
Would have been kind of awesome if he went for full damage here, but obviously against the taunt and everything that the blue team is running, it makes perfect sense what they're doing. With the Mortal Strike over here, Varian sitting at the side, just waiting for the taunt. And Nagrom, he's had some trouble throughout the game. Died 3 times already. 28,000 damage for Chromie, 36,000 for Duranda. There's the stuns, okay. Marlow for the delivery. 1 Varian. Shipping free. The triple hit. Nice. Imperious with a big connect. Swamgrota is dead and so is Nagrom. Both of them fell. Chromie is also down and they get another spear against Bishops. 5-man team wipe. And that's the end of the keep. And maybe the core. They don't have a sanctification. But they should still be able to go for the core here, honestly, if they're playing their cards right. Especially since Ethereal Explosion would also take another 5 points off the core. So this is likely going to be the end of the series. That was a quick start in today, I gotta say. Team Nagrom, they got absolutely demolished by Team Nick. The red team just a little bit too strong. And they are taking the core down. It's 21 kills, 2-6 in total, 12-minute game as Team Nick takes the 3-0 victory and advances to the next round of the losers bracket.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description and check that out. Thanks in advance and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.